Welcome back, Reds. Today's hot Liverpool transfer update is here. Wirtz rumours, Alisson's future, big changes, and a fiery Yamal versus Trent clash. Let's dive in. Medical scheduled, Sky Sports confirm latest Liverpool transfer. Lamine Yamal set for Brentford switch in £18 million deal. Sky Sports has confirmed a move that many had expected but none were truly ready for. Lamine Yamal is departing Liverpool after 7 memorable seasons at Anfield. The 26-year-old Irish international will undergo a medical today ahead of his transfer to Brentford, who are securing his services for a fee potentially rising to £18 million. Long-awaited first-team dream becoming reality. Kelleher's departure is not a shock, but it's still significant. Liverpool fans have long appreciated his calm presence and reliability between the sticks, especially in cup competitions where he delivered defining moments. He earned cult status with shootout performances in the 2022 and 2024 League Cup finals, showing nerves of steel on both occasions. It's really special. Nice atmosphere today with the whole crowd, and I made a few appearances this season, so it's nice to win something at the end of the season, said Kelleher after Liverpool lifted the title at Anfield last month. His comments also hinted at a desire for change. I've said it before, I feel like I'm a number one and I think I'm good enough to play week in and week out. That's what I'm looking to do. For a player of his quality and ambition, sitting behind Alisson Becker year after year was never going to be sustainable, even if he was one of the most dependable number 2s in Premier League history. Brentford's gain, Kelleher to replace Flecken. Brentford are signing a goalkeeper with experience, confidence and the maturity to command a backline. With Mark Flecken moving to Bayer Leverkusen in a deal worth £8 million, the Bees needed a reliable replacement. And they have acted swiftly. Brentford have agreed an initial £12.5 million deal with Liverpool to sign Lamine Yamal, Sky Sports' Lyle Thomas reports. Performance-related add-ons could take the eventual fee to £18 million. Crucially, those bonuses include £2 million for 20-plus Premier League starts and £1.5 million if Brentford qualify for Europe. Both targets are realistic given Kelleher's ambition and the trajectory of Thomas Frank's team. Smart business for all parties. With only 1 year remaining on his Liverpool contract, the timing of this transfer works for everyone involved. Liverpool cash in before losing him for free, and Brentford pick up a top-tier talent for a cut-price deal in today's market. Although his 47 appearances for the Reds came sporadically, Kelleher's composure and distribution always impressed. Liverpool's recruitment of Georgian international Georgi Mamadashvili this summer was the final indication that Kelleher's time was coming to an end, but the admiration from Liverpool supporters remains, and deservedly so. How Liverpool could line up with Florian Wirtz and 2 more transfers as 4 players make way. Florian Wirtz may well be joining Jeremy Frimpong at Liverpool next season, and more signings will be expected in a much-changed lineup for Arne Slot next season. Liverpool is still working toward bringing Florian Wirtz to Anfield next season, with Reds fans hoping the German star will be on board for next season's Premier League title defence. 2 offers have already been rejected by Bayer Leverkusen as Liverpool looks to reach an agreement for what would be a club record transfer. The Reds seemingly have a free run at the 22-year-old, with Manchester City having already pulled out of the race, while Bayern Munich seems to have admitted defeat and moved on to other targets. There is still some work to be done behind the scenes, and the potential for one of Liverpool's current crop to move in the opposite direction in order to sweeten the deal. All being well though, Wirtz will be on board as Arne Slot plots next season's title defence. The Liverpool boss of course already has one new face in his ranks, with Jeremy Frimpong completing his move last week. Assuming his former Leverkusen teammate follows him to Merseyside, the pair could be part of a much-changed lineup for next season. More signings will be expected this summer, with Bournemouth's Milos Kerkez looking the most likely to follow when a deal for Wirtz is completed. And a new striker will also be high up on the shopping list, with no shortage of names being linked. According to Sky Sports, Alexander Isak, Hugo Ekitike, Victor Osimhen and Benjamin Sesko have all been shortlisted as options. It could be another name that Liverpool ends up with though. Julian Alvarez is a player the Reds are already well acquainted with, especially after making a play for him last summer, and the latest claims regarding Atletico Madrid may well pique the interest of Richard Hughes and co. at Anfield. Reports have suggested that Diego Simeone's side is targeting Victor Gyökeres, which may well hint at Atletico being prepared to sell Alvarez this summer. If the opportunity is there, it's one that would almost certainly interest Liverpool. Should the Reds manage to land all three of those players to go along with Frimpong, they could all go straight into Slot's side for next season's title defence. Frimpong would of course replace Trent Alexander-Arnold at right-back following his exit for Real Madrid, with Carragher stepping in to replace Andy Robertson, with the Scot likely to have to accept a reduced role in the future. Alvarez would of course take the No.9 role, replacing Luis Diaz in the process after the Colombian emerged as perhaps viable option amid Diogo Jota's injury problems and struggles for form, as well as the ongoing frustration surrounding Darwin Núñez. With Diaz also being linked with a departure as Barcelona looks as though it could be stepping up its interest, that could leave a fairly simp. Alisson Becker transfer decision clear as Liverpool goalkeeper uncertainty ends. The Echo's end-of-season ratings start with Alisson Becker, a world-class goalkeeper who reaffirmed his position as a Premier League champion. Liverpool may have been unusually quiet in the market last summer. But even before the window slammed shut, it emerged one of the most pivotal transfer decisions had already been made. "I never thought about leaving," said Alisson Becker when asked in late August about interest from Saudi Arabia. "I had always decided to stay. I have 2 years plus one, the club's choice, to stay here at Liverpool. So I will not leave now, and I never thought about that. When the interest from Saudi came, I cannot close the door on a big deal. But my decision was always to stay and focus on the things we can achieve, this new beginning and this new start, and I am really excited about that. We are starting fresh with new energy and looking forward to what this season will bring for us." Alisson's choice has since been wholly justified several times over, with the goalkeeper a pivotal player in helping Liverpool to a record-equalling 20th championship, despite for the second consecutive season being absent for 10 Premier League games due to a variety of injury concerns. The most prominent came towards the end of the 1-0 win at Crystal Palace in October when, for the third time in 12 months, the Brazilian suffered a serious hamstring injury that kept him out for more than 2 months. But a superb performance on his comeback in the Champions League win in Girona in mid-December underlined why, when available, new head coach Arne Slot has determined the 32-year-old was his undoubted first choice between the sticks. Indeed, it was in Europe that Alisson delivered his finest performance in 7 years at Liverpool, and arguably one of the greatest goalkeeping displays of all time by a red shot-stopper by thwarting eventual competition winners Paris Saint-Germain in their Champions League round of 16 first leg in France. However, while there was an outing in the League Cup semi-final first leg at Tottenham Hotspur, it was in the Premier League where Alisson had his biggest impact, keeping a total of 9 clean sheets in 28 outings in ensuring only leading also-ran Arsenal had a better defensive record than the Reds. While rarely capturing the headlines, Alisson was a reassuring presence behind the rearguard and popped up with important saves at key times in matches. And there remains no better goalkeeper when faced 1v1 with an opponent. The imminent departure of Lamine Yamal to Brentford and arrival of £29 million Georgi Mamardashvili from Valencia offers a fresh challenge. But for good reason will Alisson once again head into the new season as the undisputed Liverpool #1, and still the best goalkeeper in the world at present. Lamine Yamal disagrees with Trent Alexander-Arnold after Jamie Carragher blast. Lamine Yamal's words will be music to the ears of Barcelona and Spain supporters, and they are in contrast to those of Trent Alexander-Arnold in the past concerning the Ballon d'Or. Barcelona and Spain superstar Lamine Yamal is not yet concerning himself with the prospect of winning the Ballon d'Or as he attempts to lead his national team to more success. The teenager is in Germany for the semi-finals of the Nations League as Spain look to add another title to the Euro 2024 victory they recorded last year. Luis de la Fuente will have to lead his team past France and a contender for the label of best player in the world in Ousmane Dembélé, before potentially facing off against Germany or Portugal in the final. And the Spanish boss will be pleased his young starlet's aspirations are centered on team trophies rather than individual accolades. The 17-year-old racked up 18 goals and 25 assists in 55 appearances as Barcelona won La Liga and reached the semi-finals of the Champions League. And Yamal is already thinking about winning the latter competition and the World Cup next year. I don't think about the Ballon d'Or. I think you'll end up badly if you only think about that, he said. I think about winning. Imagine if I win the World Cup and the UCL next year, then the Ballon d'Or will come by itself. But the most important thing is to enjoy football. Asked about a potential battle between himself and Paris Saint-Germain ace Dembélé, Yamal refused to add too much fuel to the hype behind their meeting. I am confident that we, Spain, will win on Thursday, but whether we win or not, I would still vote for the best player in the world, Yamal told Cope. If Thursday doesn't go the way I want or Dembélé wants, then what? You're voting for someone else who plays on Sunday? I'm the kind of person who votes for the best player over the whole year. But if people want to risk it all on one game, well, we can play that game then. Yamal's approach to the Ballon d'Or is somewhat in contrast to that of a new La Liga rival. Trent Alexander-Arnold joined Barcelona rivals Real Madrid at the start of the window, and has previously suggested he'd like to win the accolade over earning Champions League glory. It is a moment that irked some Liverpool supporters and club legend Jamie Carragher. The former defender said on Sky Sports, Trent was asked whether he'd want to win the Champions League or the Ballon d'Or, and he said Ballon d'Or, even if he thinks that, it's not the right answer for a local player at Liverpool. The club has to come first. That showed Liverpool supporters he's not a player who thinks about the club more than himself. He's a brand. He's an amazing footballer, and that's why Real Madrid want him.